Ready? Hayden Buckley, 2 under 68. Hayden, 68-68, 2 rounds in the 60s to start the U.S. Open. Tell us how you must be feeling pleased.
Yeah, it feels great. I think it's funny. We've looked at the last, I've missed 6 of the last 7 cuts, and I think every week 2 and 3 under a day was right there in the top 10, top 15. So we've been talking about it for the last few weeks, how simple it is just to go out and, make less bogeys, make a lot of pars and find a few birdies. And, today I was 2 over, I think, through 11 holes and still felt fine, but, made a little late charge there and made a few birdies coming in. So, I think the biggest thing is patience. We've kind of learned that more than ever. Missing 6 or 7 cuts, it's hard to have patience, I think. But understanding that if we have patience, we'll find something good soon. And here it is.
Most people are finding the front a little easier. You had 4 birdies between 12 and 18. What was working well in that stretch?
I just hit a few more fairways. I think early I missed a few fairways to the right. Yesterday was a little left miss. So I also think the storm came through about on hole 10 and it kind of calmed it down a little bit. So maybe it was just weather. I don't particularly think any side's harder. I think they're all the same. There's fairways and greens and holes, and I think I've played them both pretty similar. So I think I got a little lucky with weather and just made it count.
We're gonna go right here to Kevin.
I know last year you had a good opening round at the U.S. Open and struggled the second round. What was better this year than last year, and did you learn anything from what happened last year?
Yeah, I think last year I shot 2 under in the first round. I think we were 2 back, and at Torrey, I went out there. I think it was a quick turnaround, maybe the late early side of the wave, and just missed a lot of fairways. Again, I think I missed almost every fairway in that second round and just couldn't play. I think, this week I've found enough to make birdies, but my putting has just changed a lot. I've gotten a lot better speed with a putter change this week, and I feel a lot more confident inside of 10 feet, and that's kind of been my struggle all year.
Was there anything, like last year, the second round, do you feel like there were any nerves or anything that got to you, or was it?
No, I think it was just, I think that second round was at 7:30 in the morning. It was kind of cold, kind of similar to yesterday's round, and I just, I played my shot and I missed too many fairways. That was the bottom line. It wasn't, I really didn't hit it bad. I just missed enough fairways to really struggle. And I think it was a little bit of maturity. I needed to, really, grow up and kind of learn how to grind a little bit more, and that's something that we did today, being 2 over through 11 and, fought back and found a way.
We'll go to far left and then right here to Don.
Just a little background on you. We saw that, you got your card by showing up at a Corn Ferry in the dark, not knowing if you were going to even make the field, and then you won. What's the sort of leap of faith you have to make there to show up in the dark and not even know if you're going to play?
I mean, luckily I lived an hour south, which was nice, but I'd played pretty decent. That was the 2-year-long season. I had played about 5 or 6 events and thought I played well enough to get in that event, and I worked really hard that winter. That was something with a move to South Florida, just really working hard over the winter, but I know from experience what 1 week can do. You see it. I think you see it every week. You see it from guys that qualified this week and made cuts. Everybody's improving their professional status. And, I think about that tournament a lot. I actually watched the video. I won in a playoff, made about a 15-footer, but I watched that video a lot just to remind myself of, what it took that week. It was a grind, and showing up on that range, what that felt like, and I don't want that ever again.
What did it take besides showing up on the range? I mean, what was the highlight, besides just winning itself?
I really, similar to this week, I made a lot of pars that week. I really grinded it out. It was I want to say maybe 10 under won that tournament, and I think I had the most pars in the field that week. So just remembering, it's not as easy on Corn Ferry now. I think you got to shoot 20 under almost every week, but reminding myself out here how good 2 and 3 under is. Making a lot of pars, avoiding bogeys, and just waiting for birdies has kind of been my mental strategy for the last few weeks.
Right here.
As a high school player, you were barely good enough to get into the team. Can you tell us about that and how you've gone from that position to being in contention at the U.S. Open going into the weekend?
Yeah, I played baseball most of my life, so I didn't get recruited much out of high school. And, the 2 local colleges, just kind of told me that I wasn't going to play on their team. So I kept working hard and kind of got lucky with the University of Missouri. My swing coach knew the coach and pretty much offered me a walk-on spot without watching me play golf. But that was because of word of mouth that I worked hard. So I kind of remember that a lot. That was an opportunity where even in college, I studied hard because I thought I'd be working. Post-college, I struggled. Really, my first 2 years, I got hurt my sophomore year of college. I didn't really understand what taking care of your body was. And I finally learned all these things, and it all came together my senior year. So, I won 4 times. Our team struggled a little bit at times, but I knew that, if I kept going, that, I'd have an opportunity to play for a living. And so I actually did an internship after my senior year that summer. I worked in a hospital for, a few months, and I realized that just wasn't for me, and that made me work even harder. So I think once you realize this is what you want, you just got to go after it. What
do your high school and college teammates say to you when you speak to them now?
One of them is actually here. One of my college teammates is here this week, and he's, they're all proud of me. They all kind of, a lot of them, it's pretty consistent. They knew, they always say they knew, I had it in me just because of how hard I worked. And, I didn't know that. I didn't know that till about senior year of college, but, knowing that those people still believe in me, it's a great feeling.
We're going to Dan on the right.
What does it say about the level of competition that you guys face week in, week out on the PGA Tour, that you've missed so many cuts recently and then you come here and you start winning, or you're in contention, sorry?
Again, my ball striking's been so good, and I think that's honestly what wins tournaments. At the same time, I've been struggling with the putter and figured it out this week, but, I really feel like the confidence never went away because of how good the ball striking was. I think I'm top 12 in driving and top 30 in greens and regulation. So there was just a little something mentally off. And I got that fixed with Scott Fawcett the week after Colonial. I went out there and we worked on course strategy. And, the next week I qualified for this. The next week, I missed the cut by 1 at the RBC, but, things started to get better. So I kind of realized that there was a little bit of course strategy issue, and that was it.
Here on the left.
Just curious, going back to what you just mentioned, what did you study in college? What did you think you'd be doing right now?
I was a health science major. I tried to be an engineer for a year. That didn't work out. I was looking at healthcare administration. I did an internship in a hospital, and he was great and he had a great time, he said, but I didn't enjoy it. So it was a quick, no more of this. Let's get to golf. And so that was, I ended up graduating that next fall and then missing at Korn Ferry Q School and going to Canada the next spring. So. Canada changed my career, finished 6th up there and got to Korn Ferry Finals, and then, obviously Sarasota, the win in the playoff changed everything as well.
Last one here to Doug.
First of all, if you could refresh my memory on the in the playoff at Columbus, were you first to putt? Did you hit a long one, or did you have the short one?
Birdied the first with David Lingmerth, and then we went to the second hole, and I made about a 20-footer, and he was probably 12 feet out or so. We kind of both felt like, if we're in and first alternate, that we'd probably get in, but I didn't really want to risk it, and it was nice to see a putt go in.
Secondly, how long have you been watching the U.S. Open?
I don't watch golf. I don't really like. I don't enjoy watching golf. It's just, for me, I like to play golf and go home and hang out with my fiance and our dog, and I just don't watch golf. I'm out here all day. I just don't want to watch it.
As a kid, did you ever watch it as a kid?
Not really. Again, baseball was my passion, so I thought I'd be in the MLB right now. But at 5'11" and 150 pounds.
You've got 2 jobs now that aren't golf that you've come across, right?
Right. Yeah. It's just I had dreams, but those were crushed pretty early. So.
Last one here, Maselli.
Yeah, just a couple quick ones. What kind of engineer?
I didn't know. I thought it sounded cool, so I signed up for it, and the classes were so hard I had to get out.
What was the one that just kicked you out of it?
Oh gosh, probably taking chemistry and calculus in the same semester. I think I barely passed, that semester, and just knew it wasn't for me.
And what's the dog's name?
That's Macy. Yeah, Macy's the best. We had her out a lot on Korn Ferry last year. We need to get her out this weekend probably.
Thanks so much. Great playing today.
Thank you.